Hello everyone. Now in this lecture let us see the position and power of the Prime Minister. While the President is the nominal head of the state with the backing of majority in the Lok Sabha, the Prime Minister is the real head of the nation. But in parliamentary democracy, his deeds are closely judged not only by the opposition but also by the member of his own party. If he tries to assume dictatorial tendencies, he cannot escape the loss of confidence of the parliament during his tenure as well as that of the electorate in the following general election. Thus, he is the head of government and answerable to the people of the country. So, as we know that president, what we can say that the president is the nominal head of the state. President is the head of the state, but real head of the state is who? The Prime Minister. All the work of the presidents are executed through the Prime Minister only, and he is the one who is advising president on different matters. Okay, so the real hero we can say is Prime Minister. Now Prime Minister and the President, let us understand their relationship. Prime Minister and the President. All authorities vested in the President is executed by the Prime Minister. So all the authorities which are given to the President, they are executed through the Prime Minister only. He is the principal advisor of the President. Thus the President is the nominal head and the Prime Minister is the real executive of the Indian Union. It is on the advice of Prime Minister that the President summons and prorogues the Parliament and dissolves the Lok Sabha. So when Prime Minister advises, then on the basis of his advice, President either summons and prorogues the Parliament and dissolves the Lok Sabha. The Prime Minister chooses the ministers and on his advice the President appoints them. So President appoints different ministers, but it is Prime Minister who first chooses them. The ministers may be dismissed on the advice of Prime Minister, and if Prime Minister does not like any minister or his working, then he can ask President to dismiss him. He advises the President on various appointment to important posts such as the judges of the Supreme Court, the governors and ambassadors. So judges of the Supreme Court, we know that judges of the Supreme Court, governors, ambassadors, etc. are appointed by the President, but to appoint them, who advises them? Prime Minister advises them. He is the link between President and the Council of Ministers. Our Constitution lays down that it shall be the duty of Prime Minister to communicate to the President all decisions of the Council of Ministers relating to the administration of Union and the proposals for legislation. He is the link between President and Council of Ministers. Right, link, we know what is link. He is a communicating link, we can say that. Means all the decisions of the President is conveyed to the Council Minister through the Prime Minister, and all the decisions which Council Ministers are taking, it is conveyed to the President through the Prime Minister. So he is a connecting link between these two bodies. Our Constitution lays down that it shall be the duty of Prime Minister to communicate to the President all the decisions of the Council of Ministers. So according to our Constitution, all the decisions which are made by the Council of Ministers must be communicated to President through Prime Minister. So all the decisions relating to administrations of the Union and the proposals for legislations. A minister cannot discuss any matter of national policy with the President on his own. So minister directly cannot go to President to discuss any matter which is related with national policy. The President can ask the Council of Ministers to reconsider any matter which has not been considered by the Cabinet and on which the decision has been taken by a minister. So if a President finds that there is some matter which Cabinet has not considered, so he can ask a Cabinet to consider those things. The President may call for information regarding the affairs of the Union and the Prime Minister has to furnish such informations. The President may call for information regarding the affairs of Union. The President may call for informations regarding the affairs of union. So president can ask ki what union is doing, and the prime minister has to furnish such information, and in that case the prime minister informs president about the working, about the affairs of the union. So this is the role of a prime minister with the president. Okay, now let us understand prime minister and the cabinet. What is the role of prime minister with cabinet? So first, leader of the cabinet. So prime minister, he is the leader of cabinet. The prime minister is the head of cabinet. No provisions is made in the constitution for the appointment of different categories of ministers. So he is a head of the cabinet, and no provisions is made in the constitution for the appointment of different categories of ministers, such as ministers of the cabinet rank, ministers of the state, and deputy ministers. The prime minister has the liberty to decide on these matters. So it is prime minister who decides about who should be made minister of state or minister of cabinet or deputy minister. So based on his advice, president is appointing all these persons. So in cabinet, all the ministers are appointed with the approval of prime minister, with the consent of prime minister. Power to allocate portfolios and to reshuffle the council of ministers. It is the prime minister who allocate department and portfolio to ministers. He can reshuffle his council of minister whenever he pleases. So prime minister, he decides that what portfolio to be given to which minister, and if in future he wanted to reshuffle, he can reshuffle it. Next is power to select and dismiss ministers. The prime minister chooses the ministers and has the power to dismiss. He can ask an erring minister to resign. So if any minister is not working according to his wish, means is not in favor of country, so in that case the prime minister can ask him to resign. Okay, so as the prime minister is choosing minister, he has the power to ask him to resign. He can dismiss the minister. Power to direct and coordinate policy. The prime minister coordinates the working of various departments so that administration is carried out smoothly. So he is doing the work of coordination. He is coordinating between different departments so that they are working smoothly. In critical matters such as foreign, defense, economic and technological affair, he coordinates the policy of the government. Resignation of the prime minister. The prime minister's resignation implies the resignation of the whole cabinet. So if the prime minister resigns, that means the whole cabinet resigns. The prime minister inside the parliament. Now let us discuss his role inside the parliament. So these 4 points are prime minister as the cabinet. So prime minister and the cabinet, we have seen these 5 points. Now prime minister inside the parliament. So inside the parliament, he is the leader of Lok Sabha. As the prime minister is the leader of majority party in the parliament, he is said to be the leader of the house. A spokesperson of the government. The prime minister is the chief spokesman of the government in the parliament. So inside the parliament, he is the chief spokesman of the government. So from the government, what are the different policies are implemented or whatever, he is the chief spokesman. He make all important announcement on national policies on the floor of the house. So on the floor of house means in the parliament, in the Lok Sabha, he make all important announcements. Third, defender of the government policies. The prime minister defends the government in the parliament. Defend means what? Okay, so there are many opposition parties who criticize government for their various policies. So here prime minister defend those policies because government is making these policies and they are making this policy with the prime minister as their head. So it is the prime responsibility or it is the prime work of president to defend all the government policies. When a policy or a minister come under attack in the parliament, the prime minister come to defend the issue involved. Intervention in the case of controversial issues. There are some controversial issues like language issue, center-state relations, price rise, and atrocities on women over which members lose their temper. If an ugly situation arises in any of the houses, the matter generally ends with the intervention of the Prime Minister. So sometimes it happens that in any of the house there is some attack or some kind of means there is dispute or some ugly comment. So in that case, Prime Minister intervene and then he solves the matter. So intervention in the case of controversial issues. So there is some controversial issues like the language issue. So it could be language issue or center state relation, price rise and atrocities on women over which member lose their temper. If an ugly situation arises in any of the house, the matter generally end with the intervention of Prime Minister. Prime Minister as a leader of the nation. The Prime Minister represents the nation. When he speaks, the whole nation is supposed to be speaking through him. So Prime Minister as a leader of nation. So whatever Prime Minister is saying, it is the voice of whole nation. So it is same as the whole nation is saying the same thing. During a national crisis like war, even the opposition parties support the Prime Minister. So generally we see that opposition parties, they are always against the Prime Minister. But in case of some national emergency, in case of war, these opposition parties also support the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister decides what kind of relations India would have with other countries. So Prime Minister, he decides what relations he have with the other countries. The Prime Minister tries to protect the interest of the country in international forum. He discusses matter of mutual interest with other leaders, keeping the interest of India in mind. So the Prime Minister tries to protect the interest of country in international forum. On international forum, he tries to protect the country's interest. He discusses the matter of mutual interest with other leaders, keeping the interest of India in mind. At the time of general election, it is the proposed Prime Minister for whom or against whom the people vote. So in general election, it is the proposed Prime Minister for whom or against whom people vote. The Prime Minister is also the ex officio chairman of Niti Aayog and the Atomic Energy Commission. So he is again the ex officio chairman of Niti Aayog and Atomic Energy Commission. Check on the authority of the Prime Minister. So we have seen different relations of Prime Minister with different bodies like a president, with cabinet and with the people as a leader of nation, or we can say that the duties of the Prime Minister. Now check on the authorities of the Prime Minister. Though the Prime Minister is the leader of majority party, he has to ensure the support of his minister as well as the party. In case of coalitions, when the Prime Minister does not enjoy an absolute majority in the Lok Sabha, his position becomes more vulnerable. Opposition parties always look for a chance to criticize the Prime Minister. The press and the public opinion act as effective check on the Prime Minister's authority. So these are the checks on the authority of the Prime Minister. Collective responsibility. Under the Article 75(3) of the Constitution, the Council of Ministers shall be collectively responsible to the House of the People. Under Article 75 of the Constitution, the Council of Ministers shall be collectively responsible to the House of the People. The principle of collective responsibility implies the following. The decisions taken in the meeting of the cabinet are equally applicable to all the ministers, even though they may differ among themselves on a particular policy. So whenever a cabinet discusses any policy, okay, it is not possible that all the members are in the favor of the policy. There may be possibility that one or two members, they are not in favor, but whenever that policy is implemented, then it is the collective responsibility of all the members. Okay, all ministers jointly share the responsibility for the government's policies and performance. The ministers must function as a team in supporting and defending government policies inside as well as outside the parliament. So all the ministers, whether they are agree to it or not, once the policy is implemented, then they all support the policy, and they defend the policy inside and outside the parliament. A vote of no confidence against one minister is a vote against the whole ministry. Such a ministry that has lost the confidence of Lok Sabha has to resign. Now, a vote of no confidence against one minister is a vote against the whole ministry. So, if there is vote of no confidence against a single minister, then it means it is against the whole ministry, and such a ministry that has lost the confidence of the Lok Sabha has to resign, and in that case they have to resign. This is collective responsibility. Now let us discuss individual responsibility of the minister. The ministers are individually responsible to the president, that is, they hold office during the pleasure of the president and may dismiss by him, of course, on the advice of the prime minister, even when they may have the confidence of legislature. So these members, okay, they are appointed by the president, and if a president want to remove them from the post, then he can do that, but for that he will take the advice of prime minister. Each minister is answerable to the parliament for the department under his control. Now each minister, it is individual responsibility that he is responsible for his department. It is obligatory to him to answer all the questions asked by the MPs regarding the functioning of his department. So any question which is asked regarding the functioning of a department, then the minister of that department is responsible to give the proper answer. Every minister is responsible for matters such as personal lapse, departure from official policy by him or by his department, break of oath of secrecy, and so on. There are many occasions when a minister has owned responsibility for mistakes or shortcomings of the department under him and resigned from his post. So breach of oath of secrecy means we have seen that all the ministers they have to take oath, and now if a minister he breaches the oath of secrecy, there are many occasions when the minister has owned responsibility for the mistakes or shortcomings of the department under him and resigned from his post. So if there is any mistake from the department, then the minister of that department he takes the responsibility of it and he resigns from the post. So here in this chapter we have seen in detail how the prime minister is appointed, what is the role of prime minister, what is cabinet, what is the role of cabinet, yes, and so on, right? So thank you for being with me. In the next class we will see a new chapter. Thank you.